Hey everyone, Pekanese here, and I'm back with my mascot cat buddy Dango. Thanks for clicking on this video. So today I thought I'll try out using gouache for the first time. I've been wanting to use gouache for quite a while now because I like the kind of simple, clean aesthetic that gouache gives you as opposed to watercolor. I've been using watercolor for a little bit and I finally saved up enough money to splurge on these gouache paints, so here I am with a primary color set of Winsor & Newton gouache paints, and I thought I'll try them out today. So since I've never used gouache before, I thought I'll start off by just doing some swatches and like seeing how the paint reacts and stuff like that. The brush that I'm using is actually for oil painting, so the bristles are quite hard, and I think that was kind of the wrong brush to use for gouache because I know people suggest using soft brushes, but I didn't have any, and I just found these. They're like my mom's paintbrushes, but it's like 20 years old. So yeah, I'm using that. So my initial thought with gouache was, wow, this is really difficult because, well, first of all, it's kind of hard already to mix colors because I only have primary colors, so it's hard to get the colors that I wanted, and when gouache dries, it dries in a different color. Like, I think it dries a bit darker, I think it dries a bit darker. And some of the pigment is more opaque than others, like the yellow paint is so opaque, but the red, blue, and green are kind of transparent slightly, so if I wanted to make a really opaque red, I have to not mix a lot of water and things like that, so it's a bit hard to control. So for this doodle session, I already knew that I wanted to draw some potions and potion bottles, so I sketched them out in my book and I tried to paint over it with the gouache paint. Kind of difficult again because I think I was kind of using gouache like watercolor because I had heard people say that gouache is like opaque watercolor, so I was just using it like watercolor, and I realized that I wasn't using them like how I wanted to use gouache. So I wanted to use gouache because it gives you the clean, crisp, opaque look, and I wasn't using it like that. So after trying out these two potions, I was like, oh, maybe I'll try a more opaque version. So I painted this blob and without using a lot of water, which I think worked a little bit better. I also started using my synthetic soft bristle brush instead of the oil paint brush, which I think gives me a bit better control. Also, in hindsight, I think I was holding the brush a bit too high up, and if I held the brush a bit lower down, then I would have had more control over the brush and it would have been a bit easier. So now I got my watercolor paper and I'm drawing the potions out for real this time. So I just went on Google and then I searched up potion bottles, and I'm just using all of them as references basically. I'm just seeing what shapes of bottles there are and then kind of just making some up, kind of using them for inspiration for bottle shapes. So after I finished sketching the potions out, I started painting them, and I was still using the oil painting brush, which kind of prevented me having a lot of control, and the bristles kept separating, so it was hard to get a clean line. But I think it was a smart idea doing potions, because I'm essentially just drawing blobs, and it doesn't really matter if they look proper or not. So I'm just trying to mix different colors together to get the right consistency that I want to achieve this really opaque look. And I'm just picking random colors and painting the potions as I go. I actually have the finished potion design on my Redbubble and TeePublic page if anyone's interested in getting them. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite potion color is. If any of you watching actually uses gouache properly, I'm sorry if you're really cringing at my video if I'm using gouache wrong, but please let me know in the comments below how to fix my gouache using skill thingies. Yeah, any tips are welcome. With the green bottle, I tried to do a watercolor plus gouache like appearance with the transparent green in the background with the more opaque green on top, and I really liked the effect that it gave. I tried to do the same thing with the blue, but I just didn't like it. So the good thing about gouache is that you can just paint on top with the opaque look and then it just goes away. I also tried to add a little bit of highlight, and this was a little bit difficult because if I add too much water, the gouache underneath lifts. So it worked on some colors more than others. It didn't really work well on the red, so I just painted over it later on. I was trying to make a really nice orange color, but it wasn't really working out, so later on I just paint over it with yellow. I really like gouache. It's a really forgiving medium, I feel like, because with watercolor you can't just paint over it with a lighter color and then erase your mistakes, but with gouache, even if you paint like black, you can just go over it with white or yellow and then it just covers it up. The little bit of white blob of paint that I'm using right now is actually from a different paint tube. It's from the Pebeo paint tube because Pebeo is a lot cheaper than Winsor & Newton. So in the beginning I just got white Pebeo gouache to try it out. To be honest, I don't really see that much of a difference between white Pebble watercolor and white Pebble gouache and white Winsor & Newton gouache, but I think I'm just the gouache noob. I really like this bright pink color that I made. So the next time I try using gouache, I'll definitely just stick to my teeny tiny soft bristle brush because it gives me a lot more control and the bristles don't separate when I'm painting the gouache, so it leaves a lot cleaner result. As always, I go over my gouache painting with my marker to establish the shape of the bottles a bit more. All the supplies that I'm using in this video will be linked down in the description box if you're interested. In the beginning I was kind of feeling a bit discouraged, like, oh, these don't look like potion bottles, but when I added the line work, I think it really brought it in together and now it does look like potion bottles. And I really like the cute, vibrant kind of pop art, but not really pop art effect that the colors are giving, and the cleanness of the gouache paint along with the sketchy marker lines. So yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy with my gouache paint purchase, and I'm looking forward to using it more and practicing more of the gouache painting thingy. I don't know, I can't speak today, my brain's just not working. But yeah, if you have any tips for me, please leave them in the comments below. I did watch a lot of YouTube videos of like tips and tricks for beginners for gouache, but it's a bit different when you try it out compared to when you're just watching YouTube videos. So yeah, let me know which color potion is your favorite. Mine's definitely the pink ones, and I also like the red one as well. And like I said before, I have these available on my Redbubble and Teepo webpage if you're interested. And subscribe so that you don't miss my future videos. I'm going to be using these potions for something in my next video, so stay tuned for that. Like if you enjoyed, and yeah, I don't know what else, I can't remember what else I'm supposed to say. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye!